Welcome back. Bernice, you said very quietly in the last segment. I ended by saying that we had problems in Dominica trying to get to Martinique. What are your thoughts on what happened to us?
Right, at this moment, I'm still shaky, so I don't really want to do a lot of talking now because I'm still shaky and just talking about it, you know. I just want to thank Olivier. If it wasn't for him, we'd not be here. He saved our lives, and I just want to thank you so much.
Glad you're
You
back.
did a lot.
Glad
I
you're
will
back.
never forget that.
Thank you.
I remember when we got back to St. Lucia, I didn't know how we were going to react. It's like we were all to see us. You'd have thought everything was wonderful and we were on top of the world. And
Yeah.
but remember when we were actually here in this speedboat, and we were just looking for St. Lucia. We saw the sea, and then we were just looking for the first glimpse of St. Lucia. That we're back home, and then we got home, and then we saw Olivier standing there, and we all just kind of ran up to him and hugged, and all of us cried, man and woman, because we didn't think that we were going to get back home. So I don't know what to say to you because it's a big story. We could never tell the whole story in, just over an hour show.
difficult, yeah.
But is there anything before I ask?
No, I'm
Cynthia to
glad. I'm
join
glad
us?
that I was able to rent a boat here at the marina and to go and pick you up in Martinique without any delays, because you could have been stuck there for a while. We tried an helicopter, we tried a small plane, authorizations. I mean, quite complicated, but the boat was the easiest way, and I got lucky that the boat could just go like this on the spur of the moment and pick you up. I could not believe it actually, that you could be here the same day after all the waits and all the unknown and
What do you think can be done to help us? When I say us, I mean everyone in terms of protocol. Is there anything that you learned that you thought,
Yes,
this
well,
should have been easy, and it wasn't?
Again, I think immigration in the country that has been affected knows which tourists are on island, because it's reported. It's not a secret, and where they're staying. So if one area, like Petite Savane specifically, is destroyed, you would focus on that area, not just on the local people, which is very important, but also the tourists. Where are people from? Where are they? And communicate with their country. So, families who are here know what's going on, because there's nothing worse than waiting, not knowing what's happening on the other side as well.
And the other thing that I think that we need to learn from all of this is if communications go down, we can't totally rely on the major telecommunication companies to have some kind of quick fix. There must be
Right.
another way of communicating, whether it's by sea or satellite, there must be another way. And in saying that, Olivia, thank you so much for spending your time with us today and for all your efforts
Glad
to
you're
get
all
us
back.
all back to St. Lucia.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to just take a quick, something we never do in our shows, but we're just going to have just a short break. I'm going to allow you to listen to something of what Michael has had to say, and then we'll be right back.
The Wednesday in question, we were recording a song artist, and we had to continue during the night. We had to continue during the night because I had to record him performing at dinner for the guests. So I did that, and after we had dinner, then I took all the equipments back to my room, because the next day, very early, we would do our last day of shooting. And then, the usual, I went to bed, but for some reason I was up by 2, and I realized it was raining, and it's not the usual rain because it was heavy, and it bring me back to Thomas and also the trough, that heavy type of rain. And I find it strange that the rain continue with thunder and lightning. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock I was still up, 4 o'clock, 5, And then I'm saying to myself, but for now, I think security should at least come and get us or remove us from this place. It continued pouring heavily, and I realized at that time there was something wrong, because that's the type of rain that caused all the destruction during Thomas, and also the trough. So I find it strange that security didn't come as yet to let us know that we need to get out of this place. But when it was 5:30, I heard the knock on the door, and they told us we need to get out of this place as soon as possible. And we just had to grab, they said, leave everything and run. And I did. I just took my bag, which had my passport and my wallet, and was out. When we opened the door, I realized that the water was running past the house and everywhere, as if it was like a river passing through. Whilst in the lobby area, we witnessed the damage caused by the heavy flooding. Then we were airlifted the Sunday and was taken to Roseau. The moment I landed on the field, Roseau, I felt like, okay, I'm happy to be alive, and I felt that, okay, I'm gonna get out of this place. The next day, we were able to get a ticket on Express des Îles to Martinique, and that was a sign of relief, getting out of this place. Then from Martinique, we got a boat to St. Lucia, and getting to St. Lucia, we had that joy, but getting to St. Lucia, when we arrived at Rodney Bay, it was something else. Everybody, I mean, my crew, they started crying, and I was crying also. But I must say, everybody was concerned for our life. Family, friends, everybody was worried, because being up there, we couldn't get a signal, and people who did research realized that, okay, that area was damaged, and then the report was 20 odd more people lost their life. They don't know if we're part of it. So families were really, really worried. And getting back home, everybody, was happy to see us, and everybody, saying, how was your experience and everything. And I had to keep repeating the story over and over and over again. And it wasn't easy for my family and friends, but I must say I'm happy to be alive. My concern was based on what I gathered. I mean, I feel that when I reflect that the French government did everything in their power to get their people out. But I'm questioning, what did our government did to help us, knowing that we were there? That's a concern for me, because I think the first thing you should do when you have people in another place, before you do anything, you should try and get your people out. That's what the French government did, and I admire that about them. I'm happy to be alive. I know everybody else, because I got an email from the manager of Jungle Bay, and she said she couldn't believe my spirit, how I went, and I did that, and I tried to get help, and she admired what I did. I had to do it, because if I didn't, maybe it would still be in Dominica. So I'm so thankful to God for sparing my life, and I'm happy to be back home. And I want to thank everybody who prayed, who did all in their power, even though sometimes it was not possible, but to try to get us out of Dominica.